We're standing at the back of the hog farm on the back side of a lagoon bank. See the pine trees right there? They're taller than you are. See the deer track? Hog farmers are not just hog farmers. I mean, this, yes, we grow hogs, but a lot of us do so many other things. I'm an avid outdoorsman, and I want to do things to help the outdoors. I want to grow hogs, but I want to manage the forest. I want to, plant food plots for deers and turkeys. I want to have the opportunity to enjoy the outdoors and the wildlife that God's given us. I grew up, I remember when I was young getting into pens and they had pigs on the ground because that was the way to grow hogs back in those days. And it would just be a muddy field where they have rooted and turned up the ground, and then they transitioned to the barns, and be honest with you, it got more environmentally safe. We've took the same farm and done new practices and added new technologies and new things to the actual farm itself to keep these businesses running and keep our family farm together and sustainable. These animals, you know what they eat. They're on a grain-fed diet with minerals in it. They're drinking water from the ground. They're eating feed that's been grown in the field, and it's going into this pond. You know what's there. There's nothing like in a wastewater treatment facility for a city. You don't know what's in that waste system. Here, we know what's in the waste system. And we know how good it is for the crops that we grow. We'll pull what they call a plug in the back of the house, and all that water and waste will dump into our lagoon system. Once it gets into the lagoon, the solids will float to the bottom, and then all the liquid kind of mixes at the top. Anaerobic bacteria, little bugs, they'll get in and they'll start eating down the solids, and they'll start breaking it down. It makes nitrogen, and the nitrogen is added to your crops, and it's a cheaper fertilizer. So when we pump, we'll actually pump the liquid off the lagoon onto your fields. We're making a smaller footprint, but able to produce more. And that's what's making us sustainable. It's important for me because it's not only a place to bring my family, but it's a place where I make my livelihood. It's not just my livelihood. What I'm doing here affects so many more people in the community. I mean, there's so many people dependent on farming like what we do that a lot of people don't realize. We can be mechanics, we can be plumbers. A lot of us in the farming industry are, off-duty firemen, rescue personnel, some police officers. So we wear several hats, and every one of us that I know is a public servant in some kind of sense, because we do for our neighbors, we do for the community we live. We care. If we didn't care, we wouldn't do what we do. I take care of these animals. I work a fire department job, and I like to give back to the community. It's like I always have told people, there's two things I take serious. That's saving lives and feeding people and supporting the community.